It was on his 65th day in office that Joe Biden decided to hold his first press conference, the longest delay by a president in 100 years. I came away wondering if even he knew what he said, because most of it made no sense to me. The biggest issue seemed to be immigration, as the number of children being trafficked by coyotes across our southern border continues to rise. The number of unaccompanied minors rose 60% over January to more than 9,400. But President Joe Biden tells us he has everything under control, but apparently not enough to let you see it. And when a reporter said that she was at the border and a facility was 1,556% capacity with mostly unaccompanied minors, reflecting, folks, 3,889 migrants in a facility meant to hold just 250, the president's inexplicable dialogue followed.
I was there, is at 1,556% capacity right now with mostly unaccompanied minors. There are kids that are sleeping on floors. They are packed into these pods. Is what's happening inside acceptable to you? And when is this going to be fixed?
That's a serious question, right? Is it acceptable to me? Come on.
Will you commit to transparency on this issue?
I will commit to transparency. And as soon as I am in a position to be able to implement what we're doing right now.
Just to be clear, how soon will that be, Mr. President?
I don't know, to be clear.
Was that clear to you? In short, Biden doesn't want anyone to see the mess at the border, but he sure knows who to blame. One person, Donald Trump. Right out of the Obama playbook, where nothing was Obama's fault and everything was George Bush's fault. And Biden's sense of self is inflated, to say the least.
Well, look, I guess I should be flattered. People are coming because I'm the nice guy. That's the reason why it's happening. That I'm a decent man, or however it's phrased. That, that's why they're coming, because Biden's a good guy.
No, Mr. President, with all due respect, you are the weak guy controlled by the left who wants open borders, yet tells us the borders are closed. But have no fear. The mainstream media loves Joe Biden. They couldn't have been more complimentary to a president who stopped mid-sentence, rambled on, actually asked if he was saying too much, all the while with a dazed look and a cheat sheet identifying which reporters he should call on with their pictures in case he couldn't put the name and the face together. He was even told in what order to call on the reporters. And it appears that Joe's handlers didn't think he could stand up to Peter Doocy from Fox News because Doocy never got a question. Funny, I have memories of President Donald Trump going for CNN's Jim Acosta right out of the gate just to set the record straight. Now, Joe Biden also lost his train of thought repeatedly, mid-sentence, rambled on, and showed his inability to maintain his cool, even asking the press, "What's wrong with you people?" Surprising, in a Trump presser, they would have yelled back, "What's wrong with you?" My favorite part was when a reporter asked the president about his relationship with China. He cautiously said he'd make them follow the rules. How can he possibly make China accountable and follow the rules when he can't even take a question from Peter Doocy? And it actually took him 7 minutes to answer that question. And after that 7 minutes and a bumpy ride in the woods, no one even remembered what the question was in the first place. But when Joe was asked about what happened last week, when the Chinese delegation wiped the floor with his Secretary of State Blinken, Joe obviously didn't even get it because he said this.
I'm very proud of the Secretary of State.
We now have more than 18,000 unaccompanied children who have crossed and are in custody, 20% of whom have no relative in this country. A president who refuses to admit there's a crisis after he stopped deportations for 100 days of even convicted felons. Folks, this is a mess. We're watching a president telling us the borders are closed, yet not allowing the press to see what is happening, and complimenting himself for being such a great guy. And the Biden administration is only just getting started.